My name is Pastor Scott Horvey. I am a Lutheran pastor, second career. Previous to this, I was in banking for about 22 years. I started what they call a diaconal program for faith formation for lay people, and that reignited my passion for ministry. It led me to apply and become a pastor that culminated to the call that I'm currently in.
I'm Pastor Melinda Artman. I am an Episcopal priest. This is my second career also, like Scott. I spent over 30 years as an urban planner. I have been doing parish work for almost a decade, and in my current context for the last 5 years. And this came about because St. John Lutheran Church in Sayre experienced a 4-year vacancy. And the Church of the Redeemer, the Episcopal Church, also had a vacancy, and both churches realized they didn't have the budget to call a full-time pastor. So the then Episcopal priest approached the Lutheran Council and suggested that they look together. And there was a blended Lutheran Episcopal process to look for their next pastor, who happily turned out to be me. We decided that we would try a 5-year experiment. We have changed the experiment so that I am now working 80% of my time for the diocese, while Pastor Scott is managing the day-to-day activities of both parishes.
My call started in December of last year. So I've been here for about 4.5 months. I was described by Bishop DeForest, it will be an experiment, the joining of the together of both congregations.
Scott has all the skills, quite frankly, to go ahead and lead a church right out of the box. And he picks up things very, very quickly. And I am extraordinarily blessed to have a partner like Scott in ministry. We're enough different that we get on like a house on fire.
When I came in, I started in both congregations at the same time. I'm a contact person for both congregations when they're in need of pastoral care. So far, I have visited congregants at the hospital. We will be working as a partnership so that we both will continue with that ministry.
The wonderful thing about these two parishes is both parishes have a heart for children. In 2018, when it was time for the Lutheran Youth Gathering, we had combined our youth groups almost the year before. So we were able to send 10 children from both parishes to Houston, Texas together, and both parishes worked their guts out to make sure that those kids could get there, and we had an amazing time together. We have discovered that we love studying the Bible together. There are slightly different perspectives between the two denominations, so they really love getting together.
For the Lenten Bible study, when we started, we reached out to both congregations where we would watch a little video, they would read ahead of time, and we would have an open discussion for an hour, hour and a half that was at times hard to end at the time because the discussion was so lively.
And because of COVID, we did it without food, and we still had that many people come. Not only that, though, these two parishes have a heart for the community. And this community is extraordinarily generous. So whether it's our child hunger outreach project and boxing up food together, our monthly community supper, whether it's collecting kits such as school supplies for Lutheran World Services, we do it together in service of our Lord out in our community together.
The nice and amazing thing that, from my perspective, is when each of the congregations has a ministry, they automatically want to know if the other congregation would have an interest. And they also want to make sure that the other congregation does not need to feel obligated. They can help out as little or as much as they want, because it's a true partnership between the two.
And we have a neat synergy of that coming up. The Church of the Redeemer for 6 or 7 years has something called a street fair, which was suspended for the 2 years of COVID. Well, we've reimagined the street fair, invited St. John to participate, and now it's the parish park fair to happen outdoors together, doing new things thanks to ideas from St. John's. We're really excited about how this might look this year. It'll be bigger and better than it's ever been. Well, of course, we all know that when we plan for the future, we plan and God laughs. So there are a few possibilities for us.
What I've been hearing from my colleagues on the Lutheran side is that the congregations are needing more and more a pastoral need. So they're envisioning that possibly going back the old circuit route, that possibly we both will be traveling to other congregations once a month to help out.
Especially here in more rural areas. I think that's very likely.
Actually, the one thing about Bishop DeForest was he reminded me that because we're so far north of our synod, that I might want to try to partner with the upstate New York, with the southern tier, because we're so close together. So that's another way of building, is by going through another synod to continually working together, along with both congregations working with the Bridge, where they do a monthly free dinner.
The Bridge is a wonderful ministry across state lines on the New York side and the Pennsylvania side of 20 parishes pooling their resources to help the least of our brothers and sisters. So it has a food closet, it has a clothes closet, it has a furniture ministry. It is a wonderful ministry that we have here on the Twin Tiers.
I see more people helping here than I'm used to in other parts of the country that I've lived in. So it's refreshing, and I can see exciting things that the two congregations, with the community's help, can continue to build.
And I'm working as closely as I can also with my mission district counterpart to see if we can replicate the experiment that we have going on here in Sayre. This idea from the diocese was actually borrowed from the ELCA and its concept of anchor parishes. And so St. John and the Church of the Redeemer, because of our partnership together, we are the anchor parish for the northern portion of both the synod and the diocese. The Diocese of Bethlehem has almost identical boundaries to the northeastern Pennsylvania synod. And I know that the Episcopal Bishop, Kevin Nichols, and our Bishop, Bishop Christopher DeForest, work very closely together along with the head of the Moravian Church, the United Church of Christ, and the Presbyterian Judicatory. So even at the very top, we're seeing all kinds of partnerships happening. We're finding that the only way forward is together. And at least in our case, we've delighted in our differences as well as our similarities.